Beutel Lookout is located on the tip of the Ravensbourne National Park. Ravensbourne is a national park located 33 kilometres west of Esk in southeast Queensland. It is a small scenic park on the Great Dividing Range within the Lockyer Creek water catchment area and overlooking the Lockyer Valley. Small remnants of the rainforest and wet eucalypt forest that once covered this part of the Great Dividing Range are preserved in Ravensbourne National Park. Red soils of the park's west and southwest support rainforest that includes eucalypt species as well as palms, vines and ferns. Sandy soils of the park's eastern section support open eucalypt forest. The park is situated in the water catchment areas of the Brisbane River and Lockyer Creek. Ravensbourne National Park is known for its bird life. At least 113 species of birds have been recorded at the park, including various pigeons, parrots, lorikeets, and fig birds, which help spread fruit seeds throughout the forest. Thornbills, flycatchers, and other small singing birds snap up insects or prize them from under the bark. Black cockatoos feed on casuarina seeds, while kingfishers wait patiently for hapless prey to come along. 7 frog species have been recorded at Ravensbourne National Park. Listen closely after rain in summer and you might hear the soft calls from the striped marsh frogs that live in creeks and gullies. Snakes and lizards are often seen sunning themselves along the track or on exposed rocks. 22 species of reptiles have been recorded at Ravensbourne National Park. For thousands of years, the local Aboriginal people welcomed others passing through their country on the way to the bunya nut festivals at the Bunya Mountains. Aboriginal people camped and gathered food in the Ravensbourne area for generations. Evidence of an Aboriginal yam digging site can be seen within the park. From the 1860s and 1870s, timber getters arrived to log the forest. Red cedar was so plentiful that Ravensbourne was known as Cedar Scrubs, or the Cedars. They would cut huge cedar logs into timber manageable size before it was carted to Toowoomba. But after steam mills were established in Toowoomba and later at Ravensbourne, entire logs were carted directly to the mills. As well as cedar, other rainforest softwood species such as blackbean and rosewood were logged for use in cabinet making, and eucalypt hardwoods were felled for structural timbers. For those of you that have been watching my channel, you would have noticed that I've kept stay safe and find your happy place a bit of a thing in all of my videos. Let me introduce you to a place that I find one of my happy places. Just a relaxing time to forget about work, forget about life, and just relax for a couple of hours. Check out the size of that tree behind me. Gus Beutel was granted a 1 hectare special lease in 1924 on which he felled trees to establish a picnic area and create a lookout, hence the name Gus Beutel Lookout. Today at the Cedar Block Day Use area, you can still see the levelled site where a community dance hall and a tennis court once stood. In 1889, when the Ravensbourne region was opened for selection, large areas were cleared for farming of maize, potatoes and dairy cows. The rich soil has been used for a range of farming activities including vegetable and flower farming. Present-day farming activities include cattle, avocados, limes and a range of other vegetables and meat products. Gold prospecting was conducted at nearby Bunkers Hill in the 1870s, and by 1932 the site had grown to 25 men. In 1933, deposits of gold, silver, copper and lead were discovered 22 feet underground. But gold mining has always taken a back seat to farming and grazing activities in the region. Early goods were transported by cart from the farms in Ravensbourne to Hampton and then by train from Hampton to Toowoomba. In the 1920s, trucks replaced carts for haulage to Hampton or directly to Toowoomba. Sometime after 1932, the Campton Road became trafficable, allowing access to the Brisbane Valley Railway line. Between 1907 and 1909, the Munro Tramway construction reached Ravensbourne, terminating at Bunkers Hill. The private tramway operated until 1936, hauling timber and other freight between the loading stations, sawmills and rail connection at Hampton. Very little evidence remains of the tramway, as most of the tramway steel was salvaged shortly after it ceased operation. A partially restored Shay locomotive recovered from Bunkers Hill is now on display near the Ravensbourne National Park. This place was recommended to me quite a while back by a work colleague. If I haven't bored you to death yet and you're still watching, just want to say thank you very much for the recommendation. The Cedar Block Circuit at Gus Beutel Lookout is a short walk, about 15 minutes or so, that loops through the forest back to where you start. Also at the lookout, there are picnic tables, toilets, and a few information boards. A perfect place to stop, have a break, maybe some lunch, and just enjoy the amazing views from the lookout. I arrived at the lookout a little bit late in the afternoon, and I was a little bit concerned about a bit of wind and how the drone would fly. But as it turned out, the drone handled it really well, and I was able to get some great footage from the air. On the information board near the car park, I did notice a warning sign that there are ticks and leeches present. I would recommend not taking pets, and check yourself before you leave or when you get home. While this video really only shows the Gus Beutel Lookout, Ravensbourne National Park is a much bigger area with a lot more walks, a lot more things to do. which may lead me to a part 2, or who knows, even a part 3 video. As mentioned earlier in the video, I've got to say, stay safe, find your happy place, and if you see us out there, be sure to stop and say hello. Thank you for watching Overview Overland. See you on the next one.